Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to be doing an impromptu video. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter than my typical videos, but I thought you guys would be interested because I did just receive the new Huda Beauty Concealer in PR. This is the brand new Faux Filter Concealer. So she did send over 3 different shades. She also sent over a concealer brush and a sponge. So I thought we would do a first impression and just apply it, see how it blends on the skin, see what kind of coverage we get, see how it sets with powder, and just give you my first impression as well as show you how the product applies. So I will leave all the information about when you can get this product and link it if possible down below, as well as all the other makeup that I'm wearing today. So everything will be down below if there's anything that you're curious about. If you're new here, I hope you subscribe, and if you enjoy this video or first impressions, please give this video a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's jump into trying the brand new Huda Beauty Concealer. So before we get into the demo, I do like to give a little information about the product. So this is the brand new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. Now originally she did have the Overachiever Concealer that was in a tube. It was very full coverage. And then she did come out with the Faux Filter Foundation. I do also think she reformulated it too. It's very hard for me to remember just off the top of my head, but this is her brand new product. So I want to start off with the packaging. You have the Huda Beauty logo, and then when you turn it to the side, it says Faux Filter Concealer. It is a frosted bottle with a matte plastic top. And then when you take the doe foot out, it's very large and in charge. It has a slant to it as well. This reminds me of the doe foot, let's say in like the Dior lip oils or the Milani lip oils. A lot of the lip oils we're seeing recently have the Big Daddy doe foot. That's what I like to call it, and that's what it reminds me of. So the concealer is made in Italy. It does have a 12-month shelf life. You do get 0.3 ounces, so 9 ml of product in each concealer. So the concealer retails for $29. It is available May 25th, and it says online. Now I don't know exactly where because it says available on the Huda Beauty website, Sephora, and your local Huda Beauty retailer. I went and looked on Sephora about an hour ago. I didn't see it. So I will leave any links or information that I can find down below if you're interested in picking it up today. So in terms of the shade range, there are 29 different shades. From the pamphlet they sent over, it does look like you have very fair skin tones, and then it does go quite deep, but I don't actually have a photo of the shades as I'm filming this right now. So again, I'm not sure exactly how, inclusive it is, but I would say 29 shades does sound pretty good. And because of the promo photos, I feel like there is a range, at least off this photo, from very fair to deeper skin tones. So I'm hoping and I'm thinking that the shade range is gonna be pretty good. They describe this concealer as a creamy, medium buildable coverage. It's a hydrating formula that melts into the skin for a luminous, matte, skin-like finish. They also say that it feels comfortable, looks amazing, non-creasing, no flashback, gives instant coverage that you can build up or blend out to suit your vibe. It's also vegan, fragrance-free, water, sweat, and transfer-proof. So there's a lot of claims. I get a little confused with the Luminous Matte. Luminous is kind of completely opposite from matte, unless we're talking about like a matte powder that has a luminosity built in. So maybe there's something like that. But when I swatched these, I didn't see any sort of like glow or shimmer or anything like that. So I definitely want to give this a try and really zoom in and see how it blends out. Now in terms of the non-creasing, I mean, every concealer creases if you have fine lines. So I don't know. I want to see how it sets with powder. Along with the concealer, she is releasing a new brush, so we will test it out. This is the Conceal and Blend brush, and this retails for $25. It's a pretty dense, small brush, but I feel like we're seeing a lot of that with new concealer brushes. So I'll probably use it right on the inner corner and just see if it has enough give to blend everything out smoothly. She also did send over a sponge as well. So I think that's everything I want to say about the products. Again, check below for links and information, where you can pick it up and when, but I want to go ahead and zoom in and start applying. So I've got you zoomed in, and I think I'm going to use the middle shade that was sent to me, which is called Cotton Candy. I do like a brighter under eye, so I'm going to start out with this one. So like I said before, this has a pretty big doe foot and it is curved, so I'm assuming that you can, apply it sort of like your fingertip. I'm not sure, how fast this dries. Hopefully it's not one of those that dries incredibly fast. So I'm just gonna apply how I normally would. So interestingly, I am feeling a little bit of cooling under my eye, which I didn't read on the paper as a claim, but again, I don't know how this is going to be marketed on like the Sephora website. So I'm using this concealer brush from Huda, and it's actually pretty nice. It's not too small where I feel like it's not blending the product. It has enough of a fluffiness to really blend it out. So I'm gonna use this on one side. So this is one side blended out. It blended very easily. I would say a medium coverage. So I'm gonna go in with a sponge on this side, which is what I typically would use. This is the Huda sponge that she sent over. I just feel like I get a more seamless blend into my foundation. Okay, so it's not a formula that dries down quickly where you can't move it, which I actually like. I find those to be just a little annoying because I don't want to have to do like one eye at a time. I just like to apply it, blend it, and, you know, be on my way. Okay, so this is what the concealer looks like blended out. We have the side with the brush, and then we have the side with the sponge. I'm not really sure looking in my viewfinder and just looking in the mirror. I feel like maybe I got a little more coverage with the sponge side. It could be because I let it set, but overall I feel like it is a medium coverage. I want to really zoom in so you can see what the under eyes are looking like. Okay, so I'm taking a smidge more just where I have that darkness, and I'm going to use the brush. So I feel like the brush does a good job at blending in the concealer, except for there's like a line into my foundation. So I really do prefer a sponge because I just feel like it blends into your foundation so there's not like a line. So I'm just going to use a sponge on this side. So this is what the concealer looks like built up. I do think it is buildable. I feel like it did take the edge off of that blueness on my under eye. I wouldn't want to add any more though, because I do feel like I'm seeing sort of a line. I feel like once we set the T-zone, that will subside, and maybe if I used one of these shades that was a little bit deeper, there wouldn't be that really bright under eye, but I do like the brightness. Now I do agree that this is a skin-like finish. It's one of those that I feel like could go either way. You could use this with a tinted moisturizer, or you could use it with a full coverage foundation, so it is customizable in that aspect because it's not overly dewy and it's not overly matte. Maybe that's what they meant by like luminous matte. To me, it just feels like middle of the road. Not insanely hydrating, but also not flat matte, just more of like a skin-like type of finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and set now with my Huda Beauty Pound Cake Powder. That is like my favorite of all time, and I wanna see how this sets down. So I'm just using my Beauty Blender Power Pocket Puff. I'm really tapping in under the eyes and then pulling down. That's just what I prefer to do because I am combo, so I do have like larger pores, texture, and if I don't set, my foundation and concealer will just literally slide off my face. So this is what the concealer looks like set down. It looks good to me. There was nothing that I noticed that was different than any other concealer that I use. I can still see a little bit of my blueness. Again, this is pretty common unless I use like a super full coverage concealer or I color correct before. So this is just like a typical medium coverage for me, but it doesn't feel heavy. It's not sticky. It's set down really easily. So I want to go ahead and speed through the rest of my makeup, see how everything kind of blends in with it, and then we will kind of give my first initial thoughts. All right, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup off camera. I will link all the products that I used on my face down below in case there's something you're interested in. I do have to say that my complexion looks really nice to me. I didn't notice any creasing or lifting. I felt like the concealer was medium coverage. You could build it a little bit, but I don't know if you can get it to full. I also think that it's versatile in the sense that if you use less, you're probably able to get like a light coverage. So it's not one of those that is like super high coverage like her previous concealer. There is room to build it, but I would say you're going to stay around the medium range. I do agree with the skin-like finish. I didn't find it to be overly dewy or radiant or hydrating. So when I say that, I'm talking about like the LYS or the new Say Beauty. It's not that sort of like skincare infused feel, but it's also not matte and like spackle like other concealers that are super full coverage. Sort of middle of the road, which I think will work for most skin types because you can customize it a little bit, meaning that you could use, you know, a really hydrating eye cream if you have drier under eyes, or you could use this even if you are super oily and you like a more matte finish. I feel like it's going to work for a lot of different people because it really is right in the middle in terms of medium coverage, not too dewy, not too dry. Once I blended the creases out and set with powder, everything looked nice and smooth. I didn't notice any patching or any gathering in my fine lines, no lifting when I set it with powder. So my first impression is this is a solid concealer. I do think it's gonna work for a lot of people, as I said before, just because it's sort of middle of the road, but it's a solid formula. So I am getting a late start today because I wasn't even expecting to film today and I didn't get my package until this afternoon. So I'm not gonna be able to do a wear test, but I will pin a comment because I'm going to hop on the computer and try to edit this and upload it if I can. So I will pin a comment and give you an idea of if I'm noticing any wear or anything strange happening at like the 5-6 hour mark. And then of course I'll continue to use this product and update as I keep trying it out. But I feel like everything looks really nice. It was super easy to use. I felt like pretty much all the claims were spot on. The only one I was a little confused about was like the Luminous matte. For me, it just kind of means that it's, you know, satin skin-like. So those are my overall first impressions. I will link this down below. You're supposed to be able to get it today. So once I get on my computer, I will try to figure out where you can buy it and all the information that I can find as well as the rest of my makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'd love to know, are you picking it up? Are you interested in it? What did you think about how it applied and how my makeup looks? I would love to have a chat in the comments. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.